work today. Let's deconstruct a conversation with the input from the god of debating, the one who don't fucking miss, the guy, the one, the myth, the paradigm shift. All right. All right. All righty. All righty. All righty then. All righty then. Let's do it. You want to do it? Let's do it. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. All righty. All righty then. Let's get it popping. Oh, we're gonna get it popping. It's giving popping. It's giving popping. Let's get it popping. Alrighty. Somehow, I was having a conversation about moving in a different direction to hopefully appease a bigger goal that is not only reachable and obtainable with numbers, but would give people an incentive to want to stay for the journey of somebody who they think is good, who provides them with decent enough content that allows them to kind of have a relaxing, general discussional space in which they can feel free to not only express their minds, but decompose a little. And when I say decompose, I mean decompress. I'm extremely smacked right now. So, like, you should be smacking that follow and smacking that like and slapping that subscribe button. Let's go. Slap like. And I see this conversation in my chat, and the problem with conversations like this is that my chat moves slow. I'm so used to looking at Hassan's chat through my chat arena to see if I would be able to snipe shit that like I will get good at it. I practice, because you should practice these things, because if you claim to want to be, you're trying to figure out where I'm going with it. Anyway, I can read everything. So while I'm trying to go on with this thought, I'm seeing this conversation, and now I'm hearing the voice, because that's how my brain works. ADHD and all that. I'm hearing the voices starting to argue with each other. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see where it goes, because why interject in the middle of this conversation when I'm having a decent thought that's leading to a heartwarming conclusion? And then they keep going. I'm somehow not shifting them. And so now you've got my attention. Nice. That's exactly what I was looking for. That window. Nice. Let's go back here. Jesus Christ. Okay. Thing is, I was considered left-wing for pretty much all of my life, but I am considered right-wing in Germany, where I am from, because I am against censorship and for free speech and personal liberties instead of state-controlled things. That is a subtle mix of libertarianism and technically communism, technically, if you want to go this far. But I guess personal liberties kind of exist within, like, I get what you mean. Like, the government doesn't step in with anything. That's fine. Okay. No one believes in absolute free speech, though. You have a line. Everybody has a line. You cannot scream fire in an open building. You cannot defame people. Free speech cannot be malignant. That is a rule. We all agree on that. If I say to a society, hey, I think we should da 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 da, and that leads to da 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 da, you blame the person who said da 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 da, and the people who carried out said da 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 da. All of these views can be expressed on social media. We all agree that they are bad. Calls to violence are bad, which means now, in a world where we understand dog whistles, those dog whistles are also bad. We all have a line. The left and right spectrum are very much subjective to are very much subjective and used to divide folk. It's too linear and reductive, so outside of a shorthand use, it's not enough to describe things. Nah, being linear would be fine if we're based on some specific conception. I love a quote from Voltaire, French philosopher. We know who Voltaire is, Jesus fucking Christ. I hate everything you say, but I would give my life to ensure that you would be able to say it. I'm gonna be honest with you, homie. I'm gonna beat you a little bit. Voltaire did not say that. Voltaire did not say that. It was Evelyn Beatrice Hall in 1906. Okay. Anyway, so that already like that's fine. Anybody can make that mistake. Like, and I think that's the way it should be. Dismantle with arguments, not with censorship. Okay. I want you to, and remember, I'm looking at the chat as it is here. So whatever the fuck you're saying down there is not applying to me right now. I want you to take that as your world philosophy. Take it and see how it's about to apply to your own conversation being your first time in a new group. Just your own world view. Nobody's negating you. This is fair and balanced. CRTM. I'm just saying. If so, then the thing that would happen is whatever anybody wanted to prophesize or think would be equal in counterpart to anything else, which means nobody is ever in a more position to determine anything than anyone else. Therefore, the worst actors, the people that like generally people hate, like, you know, murderers, pedophiles, the whole thing that bad people, quote unquote criminals, not them, but like I'm going towards like misdemeanors and shit. You get what I mean? The fucking justice system. Everybody can figure that shit out. The people that you hate are on the same playing field as the people that you probably love, like your family, like your friends, like your teachers, like maybe your students, maybe your children. All of them are equal by that rule, by your own rule here. So you can't tolerate intolerance. You can't dismantle somebody who already got past being equal in the argument space. Those who do not wish to argue, I don't really care what you're saying that Jews don't control the world. What I do care about is that, like, I've seen Jewish people do terrible things. You see where, like, that's free speech, but that's not, like, there are people who do that. There's a massive group of people who do that. There's a group of people who once took over Germany who did that. You see what I mean? Free speech is that. That is free speech. That's what you are. But let's keep going. Or it self-destructs. I'm sure you don't disagree with Germany having banned Nazi shit though, right? That is not tolerating intolerance. That is being able to discuss everything. You want forums to be able to discuss things. You don't want like actual free speech. You want to feel like there isn't an overlord that tells you what you can and cannot think. That's what you're asking for. The idea of free speech is jack shit to do with that. Jack shit to do with that. Jack shit to do with, there are websites that allow you to say whatever the fuck you want without moderators in it. There are Discord channels out there right now who do that. Nobody's stopping you from going to your worst thoughts. And I know it's your worst thoughts because you wouldn't give a shit about your normal thoughts. I'd even say they never went far enough. Everyone here deserves. Okay, I love it when you cut. Okay, this was me. This was me. Sorry. This is when my chat started like noticing what I was saying. Not to say that they weren't noticing what I was saying, but like I'm noticing more what they were saying because like they come ADHD, it's a party up in this bitch. Anyway, I disagree strongly with banning it. What? Why do they always say it out loud? And see, I like this. Okay, I like this. You know why I like this? Because at least I don't have to get there. At least I don't have to get there. You've done the work for me. So I can put down the shovel and you have already dug for me. I disagree strongly with banning it, but hear me out. It's a problem. people who do believe in that stupid and horrible stuff will do so anyways, and banning it pushes those groups and those people into closed communities where no one can push and argue against it. So it's just a positive feedback loop because a Nazi will confirm another Nazi. Yo, oh, yo, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. Remember what you said though? Remember what you said though? Free speech though. They already got closed communities. How you think they recruit people? Free speech though. You don't believe in free speech. You can't argue, you can't say that Nazis being de-argued would be a thing. You can't say that because you yourself just said that banning them puts them into closed communities and then it spreads. You think letting them spread would stop them from spreading? Then they wouldn't have spread already. We wouldn't be talking about them again. Right? Right? But here we are in the middle of my beautiful, wonderful, absolutely killing speech about how I love my community and how I want to get to the fucking moon and start streaming full time so we could get back in Assetto Corsa so I could whip it. I just want to whip. I was whipped. I was whipping. I was whipped. We talking about Nazis. Again. Free speech though. That's why you're still here talking. Or maybe fully purge Nazis. Because if you're saying it's a bad ideology and people who are going to believe that are going to believe it anyway, dividing them may not change their minds. They'll just branch them off. Denazification after World War II never went far enough, to be honest. Which is funny because I was going to mention that in one of today's segments. So I guess I'll just throw in this little nugget here. Remember how like Reconstruction failed? Just like, are we all in America? Can all 50 states agree that like Reconstruction was a really, really bad thing? And I don't mean that it itself was bad. I mean, what we did as Reconstruction was really bad. Because remember, we destroyed pretty much a lot of our fucking own selves to, I don't know, defeat ourselves. So like we had to rebuild shit. And then Jim Crow started. So, like, after Trump got kicked out of office, after he lost the election, you don't think we needed time to reconstruct what he broke down? That's where I was going with that one, but we'll save that for another video. But it does take away their power to influence the rest of society. Dave, thank you. I guess I could have just read. My father is an Iranian immigrant refugee, and he would never agree with such people, but he would also never want to be excluded from showing them that this kind of stuff is not good and bullshit. Yo, so then, why would he want to talk to them? Not everybody can handle denazification, bro. Not everybody is built for that. There are so many fucking humans on this earth. Aren't we at 8 billion right now, yo? Like, if it was possible, it would be possible. The white hegemonic structure that has literally dominated all of Earth since its inception. I shouldn't say since its inception because that's fucking false. That's such an erasure of so many fucking communities, cultures, and identities going way further back than the conception of the white man. That's a big fault of mine. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. But in the same breath, I think we all know I'm talking about the United States of fucking America. So that's clear on that. I just want to make sure that's clear because, oh my God, I can hear it in the back of my head. Are you really going to say like Mesopotamia didn't exist? I will fucking kill you. Anyway. Nah, fucking ban organized self-defense and first aid education. Problem is, we're not really being clear about what free speech policy we're talking about, so we're going to keep just talking past each other. I see this is where, like, Endless would be in the middle of the thread, be like, this is why I tell you to just disengage, bro. So I tell you to just... There's no changing people's minds once they're down the Nazi rabbit hole. Yeah, they have to have some fucking traumatic event happen. Like, I hate that Kanye West, the four artist form, fuck off. I hate that he really said this is reverse American History X, because that's not what the point of the movie was, bro. No, it does not, and that is the problem. It enhances it because they organize groups in the dark instead, and no one knows the true purpose on a person because they know it. If everything would be open and accessible, they would be exposed. You mean like the politicians that literally were celebrating people who came in on January 6th because they knew a certain group of them were fucking Nazis? Jesus Christ, you're really losing me here. And you want to change these people instead of let them brew in their own environment. That means we'd have to enter their spaces. So your free speech parable would exist in your world and mine. So you're not arguing anything other than, please don't let anybody tell me I'm not allowed to post swastikas. Like, that's all I'm getting from this. Nothing else gets banned on this fucking platform. And even that just barely started getting banned because the motherfuckers who run the alt-right and run the Nazi camps are the fucking ones that are getting unbanned on fucking Twitter. Like the guy who's like the fucking big leader of the fucking alt-right movement. What the fuck? I don't want to change their mind. Why not so? This is an argument made but never proven. Yo, I heard my name. Yeah, I called you because I knew you was lurking and I knew you would probably want to listen to this before you tuned out again. Oh, we're back to the present. What tripped me off here? They're not going to change their mind and they never... What? Sorry, whoops. Oh, I can just scroll it out. God damn it. I thought it was going to break the screen because of the way I was capturing it. Anyway... They're not going to change their mind, and they never will. This matter should have been solved 77 years ago, but they never went far enough. How so? They're an existential threat, especially when push comes to shove. Yes, because anybody who gets in control of the nuclear codes, who can be influenced by a right-wing provocative war, is also the same person that can declare war on another nation's sovereign. Oh, what do you mean? You mean like Vladimir Putin? See how quick and easy it is for me to just go into the present? At Cagnadian. Wait, actually. Vice is greedy, your company is appreciated. Okay, there we go. That's what it is. Ain't no way we got a German arguing for free speech for Nazis. Oh my God, another thing is, who is to decide what is okay and what is not okay to say? Okay, I actually want to take that. Yes, that transition was fire. And if you'd like to see more transitions, you should be here. I actually going to take that one. That's a good point. That's a good point. Who watches the watchers? Here's the thing. If people are to do their jobs properly in making that decision, they should be closed off from the fucking public. Do you know why? Because the moment I piss off one of you weirdos, all of a sudden, I'm getting fucking assassinated. So they should have some physical distance. What is okay to say? Who is to decide? I think the majority of society and certain levers and people in positions should have ultimate input on the new rising trends on things that are hate speech, that do trigger attacks, that do trigger things like the Club Q shooting, that do libs of TikTok. We're literally going to talk about libs of TikTok today. Stochastic terrorism. It's a new thing. Wow, we can actually get people to do things just by insinuating. And they can't ever legally prove it, even if it has intent. See what I mean? This is the problem. The people who decide what is okay have let that exist. And we can all agree that shouldn't exist. Where's the debating when the action starts happening? Oh, damn, the Club Q shooter probably would have never opened fire if somebody would have just debated him in the old marketplace of ideals. The people are already dead. My homies are already dead. Where's the debate there? Where's the Proud Boys and the other people, the other people, America First, Nation First, whatever it is, those people. They was already at another shoot. They was already at a drag event. They shot up. We're going to talk about it today. There was a group of people who shot up Transformers to a city because it was hosting a drag event in a church. That was already happening. They already out there clipping. They shut down energy to hospitals. People on dialysis, and the woman who was posting about it, that organized it, said, yeah, sorry, the innocent have to suffer, but God punishes all, or some dumb shit. We're going to read exactly what she said. What the fuck are you talking about? We're already at the point at what you're saying you want to be a reality, being a reality, and people are just dying. That's what it led to. That's its end goal. That's your end goal. Whether you support it consciously or unconsciously, by me continuing to use your original statement as your worldview and sticking to that in every principle, shape, or form, I am losing people. People are dying. People are afraid to express themselves. They think every time they go outside, if they don't fit a mold, that some weird person from the other side of the town tells them to fit, they're going to fucking shoot them. I don't know what else you want. What more do you want? Do you want more of that? Should it just be a Wild Wild West type thing? Okay. Free speech for everyone, not for Nazis. There is a difference. It includes them. I personally advocate for the swift and unbeknownst eradication of the presence of a Nazi in a space, any given space. It's fucked up that they exist, but why do they exist? It's because they have delusional thought. It's their own fault they exist. They give it like a cult. Like, most of these people have fucking money and jobs, bro. Like, it's not like they're not productive members of society. Like, that's just the other part. It's not like they're crust punks on the street randomly just running around talking about, damn, bro, I drank Hennessy for the first fucking time. I drank Hennessy for the first fucking time, and yo, I was just like, damn, I think black people are monkeys. Like, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. That didn't happen. I think this thread better describes what I'm talking about. I'm gonna just read it super fast. Very soon, history will ask you to choose between socialism and fascism. These fascists are not an isolated issue. They're in your posh downtown, in your quaint suburbs, they're in rural areas, in your workplace, on the news. To my liberal friends and followers, I beg you to look at the proliferation of these stories and think critically about what's going on. Every time fascism appears in the world, far too many well-meaning liberals and social democrats side with capital, which sides with fascism. These people don't deserve to be listened to. You don't have to respect their opinion. They do not deserve the right to speak or assemble like this. If that sounds scary and authoritarian, fine. Put me on the record as actually being opposed to Nazis. No more fascists. Oh, a left hook knocks out the right. Join the fight. Okay, quote is like the quotes say, experts said this. I get you with the line thing, but Germany operates different than the US. Here it is forbidden to insult someone. Like, if you say you are dumb to a police officer, you can get charged. If you say something to a politician which is offensive to them, it's a thing that can be persecuted. Who decides what is illegal? That is so volatile. With the way you phrased your thoughts so far, I feel like maybe that's not as far as it is. Somebody else can do the research on that for me. Again, think of Nazis like a cult of cults paradigm. We're on the same wavelength there. I wasn't reading any of this. I stopped reading a long time ago. I'm now catching up to reality. It spreads under the rug. That is a big problem here. I've already addressed that. I appreciate your thoughts and I get your thought process, but I don't agree with it politely. It literally doesn't matter. Like, you've already won this argument, this conversation, by having that. I think you've already won this conversation because it's the conversation. That's what I don't get. You don't get is that you don't want to. You don't want to, yo. You don't want to. Is that you don't want to win. You've already won. Your way of thinking is already a way of existence. My counsel touched my willy. Why are you here? Transformers, that's fucked up. That's real fucked up. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. That's uber fucked. We're going to talk about it. Majority of society can decide that. That is another one I don't agree with. Switzerland has a direct democracy on very things that Germany does not, because the majority of people can be so delusional that they embrace, don't know if that word is right, racism and push Nazism. So I don't know yet where I stand on this, but society as a whole can be shit, but I don't think that banning stuff solves that. Does making things illegal solve problems in other areas of life? I mean, we put so much trust in the government to do the right thing, but this thing of banning stuff, I don't know. Yeah, there are overarching institutions that enable abuse to happen to them by their own existence. That's why all the systems need to be abolished. That's the whole point. That's the whole point, is that they were designed with the loophole. This free speech argument doesn't exist. It is itself a paradox. Now, you've heard the paradox of intolerance or the paradox of tolerance. The paradox of free speech is that it already exists in whatever form You are mad because something you want to say is not accepted by the mainstream. And you notice that because every time you bring it up, people look at you and stare at you awkwardly. And you think that's a product of all that programming and engineering that's happening on social media and shit, instead of just understanding that your ideas are out fucking dated. It's clipped for you. It's been clipped for you. That whole framework doesn't work. We live in an information age. I'm literally communicating to thousands of people, quite possibly millions. Even though they're not watching, I'm still connected with them at 24 hours of the day. At any one point in time, anybody could see what I have written and wrote. Anybody in the world can see at least one thing I've written and wrote. The paradox is that we've already gotten to the free speech part because nobody's really silencing you. It's that you're noticing that your ideas don't work on the big stage. And you think that because you see a lever get pushed, oh, that's what's causing people not to like it. They're telling them that when they push that lever, they Pavlovian dog. That's bad. That's bad. No, we just never liked it. And you've never talked to us because now you're crawling out of your little holes and now you're recognizing that the paradigm has been shifted. And I'll see you in the next one.